How's it, guys? This is Davey, FPL, and welcome back to the Deadline with Davey live stream. This live stream is a revolve around blank game week 18. Yes, it is actually a blank game week. I know our starting 11 is looking pretty good, but don't let that distract you from the fact that Man City do have a blank as well as Brentford. Now, what we're going to be doing with our transfer plan, don't worry, I'll be taking you guys through it. There's a couple of options, as I'm sure you guys have discovered. Game week 18, a bit of a weird one. We've had some injury news. I'll update you guys on that. But for the time being, just let me know if the audio and the video is looking Gucci and sounding Gucci, and then we can get on to all your guys' questions. So I'm just going to pop up chat. Give me a second. Just as soon as someone says that we are looking fine, I can move all these things to one side. Thank you for saying, how's it? Let's go, says Light Rays. Viral Vision is saying happy Green Arrow Day, y'all. Hopefully it's going to be a Green Arrow Day, but I mean, will we get a Green Arrow today, but not tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday? I'll rather take one on Sunday, to be honest, but at the moment, I just appreciate the good vibes. So thank you, Kieran, for saying looking and sounding Gucci. Do appreciate it as always. And then let me get into the actual team. So as you guys can see on screen, we have had an update to the rank. I don't always do this on the deadline streams, but I'll be giving you guys an update on the overall rank because, as you guys know, the Bournemouth versus Luton game was postponed. FPL came out yesterday and said, we're not going to kind of award you guys for those points. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I guess it depends on if you guys own Dom Solanke or not. Because I owned him, it's a bad thing. I wish I got those 9 points, but we're going to have to settle for the Lachelle 6 points off the bench. So the Green Arrow did get slightly worse. We were sitting about the 160k mark. Now we're sitting at 176k. But as I mentioned, a pretty good Green Arrow, a pretty sizable one. So hopefully we can continue on this Green Arrow trend of things. Was there anyone that actually started on a Green Arrow before yesterday and now they're on a Red Arrow? Because I saw some very unfortunate people that actually ended up on a red after the postponement. A couple of people apparently brought in Senesi for a -4, Solanke for a -4, and obviously those transfers didn't work out too great. So unfortunately, if you guys did that line up on a Red Arrow, it's a little bit unlucky. I'm still a little bit salty as a Dom Solanke owner. I wish we got those 9 points, but it is how it is sometimes, and I guess as long as the Luton captain is recovering fine, that's all very well. So a lot of people saying thank you for letting me know that the sound is good. Still reeling from my kudos punt last game week, Evan. I'm super happy for you that paid off. Some people in my mini leagues, work and friends mini leagues, have also got kudos, and I was pretty disappointed how my lead was knocked down after that West Ham game. But yeah, congrats on that one. A very nice punt. So Evan, hopefully you have a good punt this week. Let me know who it is. Let us know who it is so we can also jump on that bandwagon. Is it Richarlison? Should we be bringing in the pigeon for game week 18? Thank you, James, for saying sounding good as always. I hope it's going well. Says Yo, thank you, Yo. Do appreciate it as always. Jay coming in with the question saying I've one free transfer. Gordon out for Son. Richarlison, someone else rolled the transfer. So Jay, this is a very tough question because on paper, you would probably expect me to say Heung-min Son, but because he's leaving in game week 21, you're basically putting in a transfer now for game week 21. If that's fine with you, if you want to bring Son in for the next few game weeks, definitely the best option, I would say. But I might just go straight for Richarlison then. So if you want to replace Gordon, I think Richarlison's a sensible option at the current moment. For the time being, is in good form, and then after game week 21 or on game week 21, when Son does depart, he's nailed to start every single game week, even after that. So I think I might just go straight for Richarlison. But if you were to take the next 3 game weeks as a whole, I would probably still prefer Son. So it's kind of just depends if you're going to have an extra transfer down the line, which you can't prepare for, and that's why I think it might just be more conservative to go for Richarlison now. If you had Diaby, would you start him this week? Yes, definitely I'd start him. In most projected lineups, it seems like he does have a good chance of starting. So Diaby's a great option this week. I mean, if we're captaining Watkins, we expect Aston Villa to do well. So I would definitely play Diaby if you guys have him. I might not bring him in, but if you have him, you might as well play him. So the questions are slowly flowing in. Do appreciate that from you guys. Imentrix is saying Gay, Shaw, or Maguire. Which one do I sell? I think you sell Maguire because he's injured at the current moment. That's my suggestion for you. Gary's saying, I think you're bringing Trippier in. Would you sell Gabriel Tsimikas or leave it? Could also upgrade Baldock, but harder to get the money back. Yeah, so I'd prioritize the Haaland money. So to rather just keep Baldock. And out of Gabriel and Tsimikas, I'd rather sell Tsimikas. Yes, he might be nailed for the future game weeks, but I do prefer Gabriel defensively. And I think we might have some rotation with Tsimikas around the festive period. So because he starts this week, I think he'll be benched next week, which as far as I know, I think it's the Burnley game. So, I mean, Tsimikas could play that game, but what I'm expecting is because Joe Gomez looked secure, I think that he might just play in that spot. So that's what I would probably say. I'd say I'd rather prioritize the Tsimikas sale. But thank you for the question, Gary. Very well worded. Thank you for giving me some context there. A Christian is saying transfer plans, big man. Paul Torres is out for Villa. So yes, Paul Torres is out for Villa, but I think I might still go for an Aston Villa defender. So I've shifted from Paul Torres to Konza. A couple of people asking me why I wasn't just going straight for Konza, but Paul Torres has slightly more attacking threat than Konza does. It's a little bit worrying because we're going to have to bank on those clean sheets from Villa. And I don't know if that's the most reliable option, but he is a centre-back at the end of the day, but he has come in at 4.5, relatively cheap. And who knows, maybe we get some attacking threat, but unfortunately with Konza, we don't get much. But I just don't know who else to go for. Yes, Diego Carlos could be an option, but I just prefer the kind of certainty of starts from Konza. So yes, Paul Torres is out of this week, so I wouldn't be bringing him in. If you guys have him, you can simply just bench him because I don't know how long-term that injury is going to be. But he's not playing game week 18, unfortunately, because it's a great fixture on the card. So yes, the transfer plan, Christian, has shifted from Paul Torres, but I'm currently looking at two moves. The first one is going to be Taylor out for Konza, or it's going to be Richarlison in for Gordon. I just don't know between those moves which one has the higher upside. And the reason I might not roll the transfer is if Gordon misses out, I don't know that much bench coverage. I mean, I have Taylor against Fulham, but he's going to concede. So that's why I'm almost looking to make a transfer anyways. If it has to be Gabriel Saliba off the bench, there's a chance they keep a clean sheet. Not a great chance, but I guess they could come off. So yeah, those are my two plans. I don't know what I'm waiting for because we won't get early kind of team sheet news about Gordon. But I mean, I'm hanging on threads here. I'm just hoping we get something. Okay, so are you planning to roll? So David, no, currently not planning to roll. I'm planning to actually use the transfer as mentioned. It's either one of those two. And let me know what you guys prefer. Maybe I'll put a chat, I'll put a poll up on the chat shortly. And you guys can let me know what your kind of thoughts are on that. Do I know if Cash will play? Well, his chance of starting is definitely increased because of the Pau Torres injury. So 50-50 apparently on if he's going to start or Longley is going to start. I think Matty Cash would probably be favoured. I don't really see why Matty Cash wouldn't be favoured with Longley only coming back from injury. So I think that there's a good chance you're going to have a start from Matty Cash. So I would just play him if you have him. Mark saying this is the final squad. Only one player to replace Akanji. So my final squad will be kind of shortly. I'm still going to probably plan a move. As I mentioned, either Konza in or Richarlison. But if you're saying only one player to replace Akanji, I'd also just probably go for an Aston Villa asset. If you want to upgrade to a Trent or Trippier, that's fine. But I'm looking to save the money for when Haaland comes back, if he ever does. That's the big thing about this game week is I know that Trippier is the better option, and I'm open to spending the funds. But do I think that Trippier is a better option this week than Konza? I don't know. I think Luton probably score. Rich from me having a double up already, but I don't know. I'm a bit skeptical about getting Trippier in this week, and then Trent as Arsenal, obviously. I'm expecting goals from both sides in that one, so this might not be the week to go for those assets, especially for a hit. But I mean, if you guys want to go, you can do those upgrades if need be. What about Bowen, says Andrew Hall? Just a bit more expensive. I want to keep the funds open for Solanke to Haaland, even though I don't even know if Haaland's going to be fit. I just want to keep that option in my back pocket, and I just favour Richarlison anyways. I know that Bowen's a great asset. I just think the fixtures are pretty good for Spurs upcoming. But Bowen's fine. If you want to go for Bowen, he's a very sensible option. As mentioned, I just want to keep those funds open, just because I haven't had much concrete news on Erling Haaland. Okay, so Yash is saying, any news about Gordon? Best replacement, Palmer or Richarlison? Yash, I would go for Palmer as your replacement there, if you're going to take Gordon out. And unfortunately, there's been no news. The only news we've had is that Eddie Howe said it was a bad knock, or an ugly knock or something like that. But Eddie Howe, I mean, he doesn't give us much confirmation in press conferences, so I wouldn't look too much into those comments. Jacques is saying, hi chat, hi David, how's it Jacques? Hopefully you're doing well, brother. Tristan is saying, would you sell a He-Chan for Palmer? Okay, let me just check some Wolves fixtures. Wolves play Chelsea this week. Not the worst fixture in the world. Then they have Brentford, Brentford actually pretty good defense. Everton actually doing quite well. I'd say Palmer's a sensible option. This week, I mean, Wolves could still score against Chelsea, but I favor Palmer for the long run, so I probably would say go for the Palmer move. Hwang Chan to Bowen from -4. No, not this week. I don't think the United fixture is as good. I know they're not great kind of defensively, but I still might back Hwang Chan, but maybe Richarlison from -4, but I don't know about Bowen. How are the West Ham fixtures? I mean, we have Areola, so we can kind of say. I mean, they've got United, then they've got Arsenal. They've got Brighton, which is a fine fixture, Sheffield United, Bournemouth. So these fixtures are all pretty good. It's only the Arsenal one that you might not be too fond of. So that's why that might be the only thing putting me off. But I mean, Bowen can score against anyone, like we saw in the League Cup. Play Anderson or Tsimikas since Powell's not starting. So Crystal Palace are playing. They're playing Brighton tonight. Yeah, Brighton have been struggling recently from a defensive point of view. Look, I might actually just go for Tsimikas because of the attacking threat that he potentially has. Look, I think Tsimikas starts this week. I think there's a certainty of that. Do they keep a clean sheet though against Arsenal? It's gonna be tough. I think it's close between those two assets. I might slightly lean towards just playing Tsimikas. Liverpool's defense isn't that bad. It's better than Crystal Palace's. Brighton have been struggling though from an attacking point of view. But I think that I'd go for the attacking threat of Tsimikas. Rafa and Reza saying Todd Gay or Tsimikas. So same answer there. I'd probably edge Tsimikas slightly. But it is close between those two. I just think that Anderson might offer more attack there than Gay does. So I might be tempted more to start Anderson than Gay. But I think I still would start Tsimikas over both of them. But yeah, if that's the only problem with your team, I think your squad should look okay. Because as I mentioned, I think there's going to be too much between those. Tendai saying, hey brother, I hope you're good. Thank you. Hope you are doing as good as well. Would you bring in a Wobie or Richarlison for -4? Definitely Richarlison. Already have Son, Porro, and Watkins. The -4 is debatable. Who are you taking out, Tendai? If it's Gordon, which is probably probable, then maybe. I just don't know if it's worth the -4 this week. If Gordon doesn't start 100%, the -4 can be worth it. But I just don't know if I can take him out from -4 if he starts Luton. That just, I don't know, could look a bit like it's going to backfire. What's the transfer plan today? It's either one of two moves. The first one is Gordon to Richarlison, or it's going to be Taylor to Konza and then benching Gabriel. So yes, I know I'm benching a double up on Arsenal, but I just feel like Liverpool will score. I don't see them blanking 2 weeks in a row. Sorry, my phone just rang. Trippier in for Taylor from -4. Mario, on paper, that move looks okay. I guess it just depends if you think that Trippier keeps a clean sheet this week. I don't know if it's the week to do Trippier in. As I mentioned, I think that Luton score, but I mean, I'm starting both of them. I'm just starting both of them though because I just feel like Liverpool is a worse fixture. Would you start Tsimikas or Zinchenko? Thanks. That's a tough one. I think you might go for Tsimikas because it's a home fixture, but between those two, the stats probably tell you Zinchenko because that Arsenal defense is better than Liverpool's. And at least Zinchenko offers some attacking threat, but I don't know. That's a very 50-50 one. I don't think... I mean, I can see both benchings backfiring, so I would probably just flip a coin, but I think I might just edge Tsimikas because it's a home game. Gay to Konza or Gordon to Richarlison. So Rafa and Reza is the same situation that I'm in. I'm prioritizing the Konza move, but Gordon to Richarlison is also fine. Will Cash play, says Sid. His chances have increased. If you have him, I would play him. That's my kind of advice. There's always a chance that he might be benched, but I don't know. Oblivious, I just joined. Can you explain why you start Gabby over Saliba? So chances are I probably will start neither of them. But it's a good question. I've had this over on my Discord server as well and on the YouTube comments. The reason I'm starting Gabriel over Saliba is that Gabriel offers slightly more attacking threat. Now it's marginal, guys. There's not much between them, but Gabriel has a reputation of always being on the end of set pieces, where Saliba hasn't been as lucky. However, Saliba has scored this season and Gabriel hasn't. So you can look into that if you want to. But in terms of the stats, Gabriel has slightly more shots, slightly a higher XG, but it's very marginal as I said. But, I mean, some game weeks can be marginal. I think the bonus threat on Saliba slightly more, but the attacking threat slightly more on Gabriel, so that's the only reason. Yeah, so Morton, as he's saying, Gabriel's always on a yellow card. That is true, but I don't know. So Charles saying when SA, so yeah, I work near Parkhurst. I work in Rosebank, so just moved back to the States. Okay, Charles, were you born in SA or were you born in the US? But that's quite exciting. We're in the US, are you based now? I'm tempted to captain Son over Watkins. Thoughts? Both of them are fine, Charles. I prefer Watkins, but Son is also fine. The only reason why I'm going for Watkins is I feel like Everton are going to be quite cagey. Doucouré is injured, I see, so I think they're going to park the bus quite hard. And I don't like Son in those park the bus sort of games. I much prefer him in counter-attacking games. But I still feel like Son's fine enough to captain. I think I'm going for Watkins. For me, it's a little bit of a no-brainer decision. I just feel like he's the best asset, but Son is perfectly fine. He's more on penalties than Watkins is, and he gets an extra point per goal and a clean sheet point. So that could come into play. I just prefer Watkins, and that's my personal opinion. But as is FPL, everyone has their own. So if you really favor Son and that's your gut decision, I would rather just go with that. Go with what your gut is saying. Otherwise, you're going to regret it. Look, you can't captain Watkins and blame me. I always would take the blame for your decisions if they go wrong. But if your gut is telling you to go for Son, then maybe just go for him. Kevin is saying 200 people watching and only 26 likes. If you guys want to like the stream, you can, but only if you're enjoying it. It helps us out a bit on the algorithm, gets us a bit more exposure if you do want to like the stream. But as I always say, there's no dislike button anymore. So I do apologize if you guys aren't enjoying it. But if you are, you can hit the like button. I don't want to beg those. So yeah, that's why I say that. Don is saying, what's your transfer? So my two transfer plans, the one is either Gordon for a Charlison, which I don't think I'll do because I doubt we get early team sheet news on a Thursday. The other move is probably Taylor to Konza, and then I'll play Konza over Gabriel. So those are the two moves that I'm looking at, but I'll only do one of them. I don't think I'll take a hit this week. Solanke or Wilson in for Haaland this week. Kieran, this is a tough one because I really like Wilson for the next two. If we had certainty that Isaac was missing both games, I would 100% prefer Wilson. But I still feel like Solanke is a fine option for the next two. He's got Nottingham Forest this week, Fulham next week. Bournemouth are attacking pretty fine. I like Solanke, but obviously if Wilson's going to start both games, he's the much better asset. It just depends if you guys want to take a punt or if you want to be more conservative. I think Solanke is a more conservative kind of downplayed option. But I like Wilson. I mean, it looks like he's going to play Luton, so that might be a good enough game even to just play him in. So I would say Wilson's the punt, but Solanke is the bit more conservative option. Will you be taking Son/Salah out during Afcon or both or neither? Real one, I haven't looked too much into it, but I expect to take at least one of them out. Chances are I'll take both of them out, but what I can see myself doing is leaving enough money in the bank. So what a lot of people are doing now is they almost using the Trippier money now, getting Trippier, getting Trent, and then their plan for Haaland is downgrading Salah. But imagine Salah gets knocked out early on and Son gets knocked out, although I don't really think so, and you want to get both these assets back in, and then you have to maybe take a -4. I'd probably just leave the funds in the bank and then just go for some cheaper options and then just let that bank simmer. But I haven't looked too much into it, if I'm honest with you. I'm just kind of letting go what's happening. Vincent saying, how's it? Dubravka, Lascelles, Cash, Porras, Salah, Son. Should I roll 1-2 transfer? Lascelles, Cash, Porra. Yeah, I would just roll the transfer. You already have Cash, Vincent, so I don't think there's a reason to. The only reason I'm going for Aston Villa asset is because I think they've got a great chance of a clean sheet this week. Danny's saying, Hadevi, Mubama, my third striker, or Darwin to Watkins? Mubama, my third, or Darwin to Watkins? Look, Darwin is a polarizing one. I'd say if your team structure looks good with the two up front, I would take Darwin out. But if your midfield's looking a bit jagged, I would say that Mubama up is fine. I might prioritize the Darwin move though, because chances are that gives you enough money for maybe Haaland in next week, and I think that might be worth it. Player values are moving so much this year. My squad value is 105 million. That's outstanding. What's mine looking at? So let's just round it to 8. Okay, so yours is a little bit higher than mine, but yeah, like about 1 mil higher than mine. So that's pretty good. Chances are you might be doing well. You're doing well this season, Oblivious, because usually that's how it works. If your team is wealthy, it means that you probably have a good overall rank. Is Elise or Johnson a better pick this week? Johnson. Brennan Johnson. Okay, Ricky, Brennan Johnson or Elise. I like Elise, but I'd probably say Brennan Johnson's the better pick. Can you get Richarlison though? If you can't, Johnson's fine, but I'd probably say. Vincent, what's the orange drink you having? Yeah, I haven't had a chocolate milk in a while, I won't lie to you. So this is Sprite. Doesn't look like Sprite, but yeah, it's Sprite. No worries, Ricky. Thanks for the question. Is Jesus nailed? I think so. I think he's pretty nailed for the future. Why are you not going for Trippier or Trent? I just don't favor them this week, if I'm honest with you. Like 100% if Trippier had a better fixture this week, I might look at it. But I mean, Luton's a fine one. I just, in the back of my mind, I just want to keep this money in the bank, you know, for Haaland. I know that might sound really weird. I just want to keep my options open. And what I'm feeling like is this week, I don't know if Trippier outperforms the Aston Villa asset. And that's my current thinking. I think it's quite close between those two. But yes, if you want to spend the funds, I mean, Trippier and Trent, what a pleasure. Great FPL assets. They're going to get you points in the future. I just don't know if the fixtures are that great for either team. That's where I am at. Okay, so you're in the 500k should be higher, but I made a mistake taking Salah on my team for 3 weeks when I got the big goals. I mean, that is how it is. Did you take out Salah for Haaland? Were you one of the no Haalanders? Because I've seen quite a few people do that. Do I start Gabriel or Cole? Definitely Cole. I'd start him. And PT96, what's the planned move? It's one of two moves. The first one is going to be, potentially Gordon to Richarlison. But the more certain one is probably Taylor to Konza. But yeah, Rowan, I know that Kamara and Power out. The clean sheet's not as nailed. But I mean, if there's one team that you can keep a clean sheet against, it's going to be Sheffield United. So you got to kind of bank it. I mean, they could be missing the entire team and they could still keep a clean sheet potentially. So the chance is definitely there. Oh, Nandok, I just saw you say no pun intended. Yeah. Don't worry, I didn't even see the pun intended at the start. Would you do He-Chan to Richarlison / Diaby? I do it to Richarlison. I don't think I'd do it to Diaby. Power One says, I got burned due to the match cancellation. What do you prefer, Coca-Cola or Sprite? I prefer Sprite, to be honest. I don't know. I've never been a real big Coca-Cola fan, unless they want to sponsor me, but I prefer Sprite. Sprite or lemonade, I think. If you guys don't have Sprite in your countries, it's like lemonade. Like 7-Up almost, I guess. Start Saliba or Tsimikas. I'd slightly go for Tsimikas, Benjamin, but it's very close between those two. We can almost flip a wheel, do the random wheel if you want. I have Anderson coming on if Gordon doesn't play. Free chance on Richarlison, Trent, or roll. I know you can just roll it. If Gordon doesn't play, I mean, that's not an expectation. You thought he was going to start. So whoever's on your bench could also get you some points. Just remember that. I'd say Anderson's a fine bench option to have. It's only if he's in your starting 11 and you want to upgrade or something like that I'd look at taking a Crystal Palace asset out. Saka or Richarlison this game week and long term. I would probably prioritize Saka in my team. Look, their fixtures aren't spectacular, but I believe Saka's a better FPL asset than Richarlison is. If you're looking for only one game week, though, you can make the case for just getting Richarlison this week. But as you said, it's for the future, so I think Saka's a bigger priority. Used one free transfer. Take out Alvarez for Watkins for a -4. Aaron, this is so rough because the situation if Haaland doesn't come back to training shortly is that everyone's going to get Alvarez next week. So you could be taking a player out you want next week as well. What I would probably say is if you want to captain Watkins this week, it makes it easier. But for the -4, I might just be looking to just put him on the bench. Jackson for Haaland while he's out. CJ, I looked at this because I was looking at potential Haaland replacements. I'd say I would go for Solanke or Wilson. That's where I would look. I don't know about Jack Nicholas Jackson. Jack Singh saying, hey Dave, I got the same team as you, but a Dogi instead of Porro. With one free transfer, what should I do? That is rough. I think I would go for Pedro Porro this week. I would do that switch. Go from a Dogi to Pedro Porro if you can. That's what I would suggest. I think he's a great asset to get in and use the suspension as a reason to do the sideways move. Is Gordon starting? Hey, I have no idea. I'm just hoping he does. Weren't the rumors that he did miss training? It wasn't rumors. He missed training today. But what I feel like he might just be he trained. I don't know if you guys saw those pictures that were deleted. He trained, then they deleted the pictures. So I'm wondering if maybe he was out training and then they're resting him now. And then they're going to play him in training again. They just basically resting him in between because he doesn't have to exert himself. He's not playing in the final anyways. I just don't know. I don't know what the situation is. They've been super kind of cryptic on it. Aaron, thanks for the love. 3 seasons. That's quite a long time. Hopefully you've got some good ranks then, or at least better than me. Any transfers today? Yes, we're looking to make potentially one of 2 moves. The first move is going to be, okay, so I'm going to repeat the moves here for you guys. There's going to be 3 options. The first option is going to be Gordon to Richarlison. The second option is going to be Taylor to Konza, and then playing Konza over Gabriel, so the double up of Arsenal on our bench. Or the third is just roll the transfer. So if you guys think my team is fine and you'd rather see me roll the transfer, then you can vote on that. So I'm going to put up the poll. What should I do? So roll. Okay. Okay, it's either option or it's Taylor. Okay, cool. I've made the poll. You guys can vote or roast me. You guys can vote on what you suggest. I'm just going to take a quick check of Young Twitter to just see if there's been any updates. Okay, I just saw something. Sorry for pausing. No, I'm not passed out. I'm still here. I just was reading a potential tweet here. Sorry. It wasn't concrete though. Is there literally no update about Gordon so far? So that's what I was reading. There was an update from Focal, but on stream he said that it wasn't concrete. He just said that he received a message about Gordon 90% being out or something like that. So yeah, that's a little bit weird. That's what I was just looking at. So that's why I was being a bit quiet. I just wanted to try and process that information and deliver it to you guys. Gordon or Palmer to start? You start Palmer this week. Gordon's a doubt anyways. Is the Chelsea defense worth investing in? Nandok, it depends on how much of a punch you want to take. Look, the only reason I don't like them is that there is a lot of potential for rotation there. And, I mean, the defense isn't as secure as it has been in previous seasons. So, it's a punt in my opinion. And that's why I think rather just go for Aston Villa or attacking options. But if you really have to go there, just remember it's a punt. Chris is saying, starting Porro, what 2 of these 4 should I start? I do have 1 free transfer, no money in the bank. Can you do Gay to Konza, Chris? Because then it makes it easier. Because then you start Konza, and then I'd start Tsimikas out of those other 3. So I'd start Porro, if you can get Konza in for Gay, and then I'd start Tsimikas. Play Gay over Saliba or Gay to Konza for free. Mason, I'd probably do Gay to Konza for free. I mean, you're basically getting a very good fixture there. Out of 10, how confident are you of Gordon not starting? I'd say it's a 50-50, to be honest. Maybe a 60-40. I'd say I'm 60% in favor of him starting. Can't see the poll. Nikhil, just refresh. A lot of you are saying roll the transfer. That's interesting. So Nikhil, the transfer plan is Gordon to Richarlison, Taylor to Konza, or rolling the transfer. If you can't, just type your vote if you can't see the poll. Dave, you have Tsimikas, Saliba, Gabriel, Gay, Taylor, one best transfer for -4? So you're saying you have 1 transfer, Philippe, or you're saying that you have no transfers? 1 best transfer for -4. Okay, so yeah, I'd probably do Gay to Konza if you have a free transfer, but I don't know. Tarang saying, hi Davey, sorry I just joined. How's it going? No worries. It's a Thursday night deadline. I'm just happy that you guys are here. That's all I'm just appreciative of. Cash saying roll the transfer. Philippe is saying no transfer. Okay, so I think you just stick with what you have. I don't think I'll do a -4 for defender this week. So Philippe, what I would play is I would start Tsimikas, I'd start Gay, and I'd start Gabriel, and then bench Saliba and Taylor. At this point, I should just flip a coin. It's literally that. Like, I don't know. Callum saying I've got Gordon flagged and Charlie Taylor first sub. Considering a -4 to bring in Sterling or Bailey. So Leon Bailey, Callum isn't playing tomorrow. So just remember that, please. Don't bring in Leon Bailey because as far as I know, him and Pau Torres are the only two that are missing. So that's what I'd say. So go for Sterling rather than. But, I mean, Charlie Taylor's a fine first sub. Because if he gets 2 points and Gordon misses out, the player that you therefore get in for Gordon has to score 6 too. But obviously it's a long-term move, so you just remember that. Bro, Areola to Martinez. That could be a move, but I think Dubravka's a fine goalie for the time being. I mean, Newcastle, the stats are okay for them. Evan saying content for Gay seems like a good move. I mean, yeah, it's basically if you didn't do Pedro Porro in last week. It's like, I think that Gay, unfortunately, Crystal Palace, with those defensive injuries, aren't looking as secured. That's how I might lose them. Abdul is posting his team. 2 free transfers. Cash Mitchell. So I would take out a Dogi for Pedro Porro, if you can do that. And then you can roll the other one as far as I see. Or you could do Gordon to Richarlison or Hwang Chan to Richarlison. But I think the most essential one I would use the move on is Udogi to Pedro Porro. I would do that. And then you can start him instead of Gabriel. Is getting Gordon out really worth it considering he's just out for 1 week? So the only thing about if he's out for this week, you guys can see this. So you can see that game week 18, the deadline is the 21st of December, which is tonight. And then the games are going to be this weekend, which is the 23rd. Then the next fixtures are on Tuesday for Newcastle. So you can see that they play on Saturday and they play on Tuesday. However, we might get early team sheet news about this game because they are the first kickoff. So then we might make our move based on this. But because he's a doubt for Saturday, that therefore makes him a doubt for Tuesday because there's like 2 days between it. And that's a bit of a worry. And I think that's why most people are looking to take him out because you might get kind of two game weeks out of that injury this week, which is worth it, I feel. Like if Gordon was definitely out, I'd take him out, even for a -4 potentially. Because I just feel like the gains could be there with Richarlison over the next 2. And it's literally just because of that. Just out of topic, gosh, saying SA, the wicked loss. Let me check. Okay, yeah, we're not winning this one, unfortunately. Yeah, we're not doing too well in the cricket today. Dezorzi is batting well, though. How many games does Udogi miss? I think it's just 1 game. I can check that for you, though, quick. Let's just go transfers. Who did you say you want? Dogi. So he's suspended until the 28th of December, which is when they play the sec. So he's just suspended for 1 game. So if you have Udogi, you can potentially just bench him this week and then he's back. Sam Curran Howler says, G-Ball, are you talking about the running on the pitch? Why Gabriel over Saliba, the attacking threat Connor, but I'm probably going to do Konzen anyway, so I'm going to bench both the 2 assets. Oscar saying, hi Davey, love your content. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Tsimikas, Cash, Porro, Saliba. Who do I make a transfer? So you can make a transfer. Who's your 5th defender? Otherwise, I would just play Tsimikas, Cash, and Porro. And then just bench Saliba. But who's your 5th defender? Because if you can take him out for Konza, then you can bench Tsimikas. Or you can take Tsimikas out for Konza. That's also fine. Why is Trent not an option, Davey? Literally, the only situation is there's 2 things. I don't like the Liverpool fixtures at the moment. And the second thing is that I just want to keep the Haaland money. I know it sounds crazy and you guys might be saying like I'm hanging on to like an ex-girlfriend or something, but it's just the fact that I want to keep that in the back pocket. You know, if Haaland comes back, I want to greet him with open arms. I don't want to have to take a -4 for him. But obviously if we get more concrete news, then I can use the funds. I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me to bring in a player that I don't back this week or kind of in the future, just because I want to spend money, you know. That's my only reason. Yeah, G-Bar, I saw that. It was quite crazy. I don't know what he was thinking. Is Darwin to Watkins a good transfer? It is if you want to captain Watkins. That's a move that I would do then. If you want to captain Watkins, you can take out Darwin. It's probably going to leave some money in the bank as well. That's going to be a good thing. That upgrade shouldn't cost you too much. What's the thinking behind playing? Okay, so the reason, guys, but I might just make the move so that people stop asking this, because I'm not going to play Gabriel or Saliba this week. So the reason I'm starting Gabriel over Saliba is that he has slightly more attacking threat, but it's marginal. It's like he has 5 more shots or something like that this season, which is all headers. So there's not much in it. Worth doing Gay to Konza and Gordon to Richarlison for a hit. I didn't take a hit last week, so I like the Konza move, but I don't know about the Gordon one. As I've said, if Gordon's confirmed out, it's worth the -4, but if he's fine, then it's not. It's just unfortunately, like, this is how the game weeks have been. I can't really say what's worth it or not definitely because we don't know. I've cashed Poro, Gabriel, and Sufal. 1 free transfer. So who to bring in? I'll take out Sufal for Konza potentially. Let me just think this through though. So you'll play Cash, you'll play Poro. You can bench Tsimikas, you can bench Gabriel, and then you can take Sufal to Konza. I think that you can do that, Gid. Current benches, Huang, Tsimikas, and Saliba. Play any of them over Pedro, Gordon, Archer. I'd play Huang over Archer. That's what I would do, G-Bell. Let me go check Twitter again for you guys with 18 minutes to go to the deadline. Okay, I see nothing here. Yeah, I don't see anything, guys. So there's been some panic about Gordon, which is expected. I mean, there's uncertainty about him, but I don't think we get anything before the deadline. So I'm probably going to prioritize the Konza move. But if you guys want to take Gordon out, you can. Abdul, the plan is a lot of you guys are favoring the roll the transfer. And now we've got a lead for Gordon to Richarlison. And the least amount of you are saying Taylor to Konza. So I might be going against the majority of you guys, which I don't know if that's a good thing. But yeah, my favorite move is the Konza move, but I don't know. I mean, a lot of you guys disagree with me on that one. Is your plan to bank? Sorry, I just got you. Ole, no, it's probably to do the Konza move. How confident are you on doing Konza? Maybe about 70%. It's not my favorite move, to be honest. Why Konza over Moreno? Moreno's not nailed Sadesh, unfortunately. If he was nailed, definitely I would go for him. It seems like Konza's the only one that's nailed in that Aston Villa lineup at the moment. I only have Strakosh and Areola. Should I transfer one of them out? Yes, I would, Northy. I would take them out. One of them out. Is Turner a good option this week? Turner's a fine option. I wouldn't say he's a good option. I think he's a fine option. I do think he'll play. Just remember, they do have a new manager, though, so we don't exactly know what the manager's thinking. But I just assume he might stick with the lineup that was last time, which is going to be Turner. Why captain Watkins over Son? Just has the better fixture. Should I do the Konza move even if I'm short to bring back Haaland? Andy, I don't think so then. I would just keep what you have, maybe roll the transfer. Or I don't know who's cheaper than Konza though, he's 4.5. I would just stick with what you have then, Andy, and just roll. That's kind of why I'm doing it, is because I do have enough funds potentially if Haaland does come back next week. Why Saliba bench? He plays Liverpool. I think Liverpool score. Between Gabriel and Senesi, which one should you start? I'd start Senesi. Slightly though. It depends on how highly you rate Liverpool. I think Liverpool scores, so that's why I'm like, I don't know. But like, I mean, it's going to look so bad if Liverpool don't score and I have a double clean sheet on my bench. I think I might cry. Chances are I probably will be crying already as a Liverpool fan. Lee Clements is saying, I've got 2 free transfers, but happy with the team. Feels wrong not to transfer. Is that normal? It is normal, but what I would probably say, Lee, is even if it's a second keeper switch, like maybe consider doing that. If I would say, if your team is okay, maybe look at your 5th defender. You can downgrade them. Just get a better player with fixtures. I would try, but I get if there's something that you don't want to do. Liverpool Arsenal will be 0-0. That'll be absolutely terrible for me, Kevin. I'd be quite sad if that does go through. Will Shaw start, John? I don't. On my current prediction is no, because of the fact that he wasn't in the squad for the League Cup game. But the Eddie Howe press conference is only tomorrow, so we don't have that context of Newcastle. Eddie Howe tomorrow could say that Shaw's going to start, Gordon's going to start. We could say that both of them are out. We just don't have that preparation, unfortunately, because of the Thursday deadline. Is Trent a good 1 week punt? I think I would take a punt elsewhere, probably on Aston Villa rather Mellon. Just Trent over the next 2 is a bit interesting. I meant why Gabriel over Saliba to start. Yeah, I get that. And it's the same answer. Gabriel's just slightly more attacking. Should I do Cowell to Konza or Gordon to Richarlison? No, I would keep Cowell. I would do the Gordon to Richarlison move. I think Cowell's a fine asset to have. I wouldn't transfer him out. Kieran saying Gay to Porro from -4. Already pulled the trigger on Konza. Cheers. I don't like taking a hit for a defender. But I think Pedro Porro might be the only exception on that one, Kieran. I think I would do it. I think I would do the -4. It's a very slight payoff, but I think in the future it's going to pay off. So don't look at only game week 18 for this one. Look for game week 19 onwards. But I think that the -4 will be paid off in due time on that Porro move. I just think he's a great asset. Ashley saying is a -4 Nunes to Wilson good. It's okay. I'd say if Wilson was guaranteed to start the next 2 and Isaac was injured, then I would say yes. I'd say Watkins maybe from -4 is easier. I might just keep Nunes. Because the thing is, if Nunes is benched tomorrow, he starts against Burnley, then everyone's going to want to own him. So, I mean, that's a great game on paper. Will Isaac play? Same situation. You can literally plug the explanation for any Newcastle player. The press conference is tomorrow, so there's no context of any Newcastle options at the moment. That's unfortunately how it is. Botman might not even be like playing. He might have got injured at half time and Eddie Howe didn't say anything, you know, although he did say that the transfer was planned. Okay, with 12 minutes to go, let me just check Twitter again. Best goalkeeper choice. I like Martinez, but I think that you can also look at... Brentford are fine. I'd say that Leno's okay. Leno's a fine option as well. I'd say Leno probably favored because Martinez is probably more expensive. As things stands now, what are you doing? I'm doing Taylor out for Konza. And then I'm starting Konza over Gabriel. I'll do it in a minute's time. Rafa Red saying 10 minutes, Davey. We still have 1 minute, don't worry. 1 minute till the 10-minute mark. Then I'll be locking in the moves. Is João Pedro a good shout? He's okay, but I don't know. I don't think I would bring him in. Start Livramento, Gabriel, Tsimikas. You start Livramento, I'd say. Livramento's a tough one because we don't know if he's going to play, but apparently if Gordon's out, Livramento might start at right wing. Davey, can I get some advice? You can. Gordon to Palmer, Maguire to Konza, or Saliba to Porro Konza. I do Maguire to Konza because apparently he's injured, isn't he? I think I would do that move rather. Melon Masang, best 1 week punt defender to play over Ben White. I've Porro and Trippier. I'd say Aston Villa. If it's a 1 week punt, I'm tempted to say Matty Cash, but I don't know if he starts. If he does, though, I think Matty Cash is a great option to look at. Otherwise, you can go Trent if you're looking for a 1 week punt, and then you just hope that Liverpool keep a clean sheet. This week isn't the week, unfortunately, for 1 week punts, but I'd say that you got the two that you need, Porro and Trippier. And then I'd say the other one is up for debate. You can go for Trent. I'd say if you have the money for Trent as a 1 week punt, you just might as well go there. Just unless you just want to go safe and go for someone like a Konza or a Diego Carlos. But I'd say Cash. I might punt on Cash. Mikhail saying still have Haaland, 1 free transfer. Also have Watkins and Solanke who to bring in. Or bench and take Martinelli to Richarlison. I'd bench and take Martinelli to Richarlison, Mikhail. That's a better asset, I think. Okay, let's check Twitter once more. Paniota saying, would you sell Maguire for Konza from -4 play? I just play Gabriel. Okay, I've got nothing as of now on the Gordon news. So let's do the transfer. So transfers, we're going to take... I just want to check if I have enough for Solanke to Haaland. Okay, so we have just enough. Yeah, so I'll keep Solanke and I can do Konza. I have enough in the bank to do this. Taylor to Konza, confirm transfer. And then we start Konza over Gabriel. And then I'm going to put Archer first on the bench. And that's the team. We are looking locked in with 8 minutes to go. So what I want you guys to do is once you've absorbed this transfer, comment your question. I'll be going from Mikhail's question, you can see him. Or Michael's question, apologize. From his question, I'll be going down for quick fire rounds. So I do apologize to the 76% of you guys that I've gone against. You guys said I should roll the transfer. I've not done that. So please forgive me. But hopefully we see Konza keep a clean sheet. Okay, let's go over some quick fire rounds here as promised. Okay, Saliba to Pedro to have enough money in the bank for Haaland. Saliba to Pedro. Yes, that's fine. That's a fun transfer if you want to do it. Darwin to Wilson or Solanke. As I mentioned, Wilson's the differential or the punt. Solanke is the conservative option. Gordon to Richarlison or Darwin to Solanke. I slightly prefer the Gordon to Richarlison move. Should I bring Konza and Kulusevski for Richarlison, Douglas, and Luis Diaz? Pedro, I would try and keep those. Luis Diaz is fine, but the Zinchenko move, I'd probably just keep Zinchenko. Saliba, Gabriel, Tsimikas. Think about going Richarlison captain instead of Watkins. I mean, that's differential, Tendai. If you don't bring Richarlison this week, it would likely that you bring him in soon. Yes, Joe, I'd bring him in for Salah probably come game week 21. Play Gabriel or take out Shaw to Trent or Porro from -4. Play Gabriel or take... No, I would just play Gabriel. I don't think it's worth taking for the -4. Baniotas, I think I answered that question. Would you sell a guy for -4? I'll just play Gabriel then. Which one would you bench? Anderson, Tsimikas, or Saliba? I would bench Saliba. Would you play João Pedro over Gordon? No, I'd play Gordon. Thoughts on Livramento is a fine option. If you have him, you play him, Tristan. Any update on Isaac? No, unfortunately not. Diego Carlos from -4? No. I wouldn't take -4s for defenders this week, guys, if I'm honest with you. So a lot of the questions about -4s, like play Gabriel, take out Shaw. I just play Gabriel. I injured Eze now Gordon. No, please don't transfer in any of my options next. I want you to cancel them. Shakosha to Dubravka or Taylor to... It depends if you have a playing goalkeeper. If you have a playing goalkeeper, do the Taylor move. Would you do Gordon plus Isaac? What would you do with Gordon plus Isaac? That's rough. I think I might take out Isaac. Keep Gordon, then take out Isaac. Start Semenyo at Tsimikas. I'd start Semenyo. Do you think Livramento will play? I don't think so, Tristan, but I think that Gordon does. So if Gordon doesn't play, apparently Livramento could start. Result, thanks to Holland, I can make the move and have money unless he rises. Andy, what a gem. Tsimikas to Poro / Taylor to Konza for a hit. Tsimikas to Poro, Taylor to Konza for a hit. No, I would just do one of those moves. Is Trent worth the transfer to play over White for this week only? Yes. No, like if it's just this week, but are you wildcarding next week, Melon? That like, what's the context in that situation? How much you got left in the bank, Davey? I've got 7.3 now left in the bank. 7.3 left in the bank now, guys. Are you sure about the Captaincy? Ole, I'm definitely sure. Trippier or Trent? I like Trippier Yash more. Tarang, can you post your team? Yes, Tarang, I've posted my team. Just make sure that it's there. But I did post my team in the team selection little window. I've done the transfer now. I discovered that I've both Konza and Cash. I mean, Abdul, if they keep a clean sheet, you're going to be laughing, my friend. How much money left in the bank? 7.3 Kunal. Konza did not travel. Vincent, it's a gem that they're playing tomorrow then. I do appreciate that. Any team news for Crystal Palace Brighton? No. Last I saw, there was nothing. No, I don't see anything about that early team news. Sorry. Do Salah and Son go away game week 20 or game week 21? Game week 21. So the biggest thing to remember is that game week 20 is quite a long game week. If you look here, you can see that game week 20 is ends on the 2nd of January and game week 21 only starts on the 13th. So there's a long break between those game weeks. So that's why there's like all those players are departing to those competitions. Start Gabriel or Taylor? I would start Gabriel. I don't trust Burnley at all. I think that Burnley concede, unfortunately. Is Gordon to Richarlison worth it? It's a fine move. If Gordon doesn't start, I believe it's worth it. But if he does start, I'd rather have Gordon. Bench order, Archer first sub. Yes, I'm really backing the Liverpool score. I'm going to look like I don't know what if they keep a clean sheet. João Pedro substitute. Yeah, if he doesn't start, he'll probably be subbed on. When should I use my wildcard? Aaron, good question. I'd use my wildcard definitely before game week 21. So you have to use it game week 20. That's the last week you can use it. I would just see how the team is looking. If you've spent a lot of money, I would take the 1 week punts, the 2 week punts now. If Haaland comes back game week 19, you don't have him, you can wildcard him in. If he's back game week 20, you can do a 1 week punt for Alvarez game week 19. Just play it by ear at the moment, but I would be more aggressive on the 1 week punts this week, next week, that sort of thing. Because you do have the wild card in the back pocket if need be. But please use it last game week 20. How much did you buy Gordon? Yes, Vincent. I bought him for 6.0. 6.0 on the dot there. Gordon will not play rumors. Yeah, it's like, unfortunately, we're going to get those rumors. I don't think there's anything concrete though at the moment. If he doesn't start, so be it, I guess. Gordon not starting, says Vernon. How confirmed is that? Is that definite? What are the sources saying? Oh, the source is saying definite. I mean, we have 1 minute to go. We could potentially do a move, but I don't think... who said, though, that Gordon's not starting? Is Gusto worth it? Oh, I mean, time's up anyways. So, unfortunately, the team has been locked in. Don't worry, I didn't do any of the transfers. Raptors stated it. Okay, so that's unfortunate then if Gordon is not going to be starting. But I guess we only got that at like the last minute, which is a bit annoying. So we'll be getting Archer off the bench, who is playing Konza, which is a bit weird because we've just bought Konza in. But yeah, guys, that's unfortunately the deadline. I can't do anything about that now. If Gordon doesn't start, that's unfortunate, but we will see in the press conference tomorrow potentially what Eddie Howe does say. But thank you for joining this Thursday stream. A bit of a weird time. So just as I said, I appreciate you guys being here, supporting the channel. We're going to take a little bit of a break now because of the Thursday deadline to the Monday content. So hopefully it's going to be a massive game week. And by the time we come back on Monday, we're going to be looking at a nice, healthy green arrow. So have a safe weekend, guys. Hopefully the game week is an absolute outstanding one. And the green arrow is in your guys' favor. But for the time being, I'm going to be signing off. It's Navy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers. Bye.